Well, good evening, Sigma race fans. We come at you live here tonight from Sonoma, and I've got some help in the booth here tonight with me. I would like to introduce none other than Tim Cording here, calling the racing action with me here tonight. How's it going?
Pretty good. Howdy, y'all.
So his brother Tom Cording out here in the Cup field tonight, alongside the rest of the KBM entries, still seeking race win number one. For the majority of the team. They did get Fireball Robert to victory lane, and so yeah, it should be a good one here tonight. How are you feeling about your team on road courses here tonight?
Pretty good. I mean, we got Tasha starting third there, it looks like. So pretty excited about it. Usually I'm on one of the pit boxes for these Cup races hanging out, but pretty excited to be hanging out up here with you, Jakey.
Oh yeah, I love to have all the extra voices in the booth here. It keeps it lively, keeps it fun, keeps it exciting. And so Sonoma is always a trip. We always have some crazy racing here. The last couple years we've seen some pretty gnarly wrecks. And tonight we're hoping that the drivers have it a little bit dialed down so it's not too crazy. But it is Sonoma after all, so we'll see how things pan out. We have never had a race winner from pole position, so Taden Berggren starting front row there. He's going to have his work cut out for him to convert this over to a race win. He's got the other road course ringer right there alongside of him of Finley Herwig in that brand new 68 livery here today. And then you got Cooper Dwight and Tasha Wright in the next row. Lynn Farrell and Jacob Shangle following that with Ewan What Army and Wyatt Wilkinson. That's a technical alliance there with LFG Motorsports and Wilkinson Motorsports. Chaz Chadwick and Sebastian Torres, the winner at the last road course. We saw him win Watkins Glen earlier this year. Could he be a threat here tonight at Sonoma? Then you got the KBM duo there of Tom Cording and Luis Rodriguez. Between those two, Tim, who would you say is more likely to get their first win this early in the season?
I know my brother's been working hard, but I know Lewis has been working even harder because between the two of them, he's definitely had the worst of the luck here at the start of this season. So I'm kind of pulling for Lewis, but I think he's gonna get it first.
Right. No, and Tom's definitely got the speed. He's got the power. He's a proven race winner here in the Cup Series before. But that rookie vigor, Luis Rodriguez, with his first opportunity here in the Cup Series, you got to guarantee that means something. And then you got Craig the Void alongside Bradley Ream, Tyler Shangle and Al Bunch, Kara Shangle and James Fireball Robert, Preston Kundo and Brian DeBlank, Monty Shangle and Tyler Aspinall, Chris Harvey and John Hagan, Alex Crowther and Trevor Vaden, Lucas Holmes and Braden Varga, followed by Jimmy Logano and Ryan Little. Eli the Wolf, Louis Trost, Kellen Relic, your race winner from Talladega, Carson Bowers, Chad Hertenstein and Kevin Xavier, with Dave Steele Jr. and Brandon Butler II, Tristan Reams and Liz Shangle, with Rich Roy, Tyler Landa, and Trevor Walker rounding out the field here today. So we pulled up some stats earlier tonight. Would you mind going over some of the past winners here at the track, James? Or Tim? My bad. Slip of the tongue.
You did? Obviously, last year we had Dalton Scott. A little bit of a break between 23 and 25 from Brian DeBlank in 2023. Clyde Coker not racing with us right now anymore. In 2022, that was our winner. And then 2021, we had Tyler Shangle. And then in the round after the last 5 years, Danny Leitowitz won in 2021 or 2020.
And so that would basically
be the last 5 years at the track here.
Our modern
excluding
era.
The one-off.
Yeah, the one-off was... This track has given us so many problems before. I dropped it off the calendar once to try and right now, this is the cleanest start we've seen at Sonoma. They're not piling it in, making a wreck everywhere. And just like that, Finley Herwig is going to settle into the race lead here. You can see it.
Looks like Tasha's struggling with this start here a little bit, falling back.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so our ticker's all goofed up right now.
It is just the first lap, so give it some time.
I've not seen it this messed up ever.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with our ticker tonight. Being a bit weird.
Okay, fastest lap. That's good. Well, and we'll just kind of keep track of cautions manually because we'll only throw them if we need to here tonight. So that gets it mostly fixed. Looks like the 42 making a very unexpected. He didn't get to start the race. He's credited with leading the first lap off of pit road there. Let's see what happened to the 42 of Brandon Butler. He's in the points lead situation right now. So you go on a wild off here on lap 1 to get sent tow truck to pit road.
Oh, 3 wide up the hill. That usually never works.
Through the S's here. It didn't look like his car had damage, but he definitely disappeared down pit road.
Got Liz behind him, so yeah, I don't know what happened to the 42 there.
Yeah, it seems like he just makes a pit stop, though. I guess right out of the gate, quick pull down pit road.
Well, that's interesting. Making a lap 1 pit stop, but I was gonna say
no mechanical glitches.
We are running 75 laps, so.
Oh wow!
I guess
we missed something else that happened here. The next lap. So Liz Shangle running in 42nd. It must be down the hill here. Meanwhile, it's Finley Herwig out front leading. We're just kind of going through the replay footage here as it seems like something must have happened. And must have been something pretty big. They come charging down the hill. Oh, shoot.
Oh, mayhaps we should have thrown caution.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and throw the caution on that.
We're a lap late on that one from the broadcast side of things, but, I mean...
Wow.
It feels fair and right there.
Yeah. Ah, man. So it was just a roadblock. These tracks sometimes... Usually these road courses get
Tyler Aspinall first.
He just loses it, overdrives it.
Yeah, just slips it up through the corner and gets run over by everybody else.
wow, Kevin Xavier, I think, made the cleanest move there, it looked like.
Doesn't look like Braden Varga collected too much damage, even though he hit pretty hard there.
Let's watch the...
yeah. Excuse me, just gonna slip through here.
Yeah, so the 9 of Varga looks fairly wadded up there. Might still be able to soldier on here today.
I didn't see that much damage when I first on initial look.
Ooh. Frontal damage is often hard to...
Oh, that's where it comes from. Looks like, I was gonna say Brian and Blank, but that's a Honda, so I don't really know.
Oh, that is, I want to say the 15 of Tristan Reams, maybe. Oh, no.
No, it looks like it's at 17, just up ahead there.
Oh, so that'd have been Trevor Vaden. Yep, Trevor Vaden. The hardest hit had to have been the 22 there. You can even hear how bad the car sounds after the fact.
I think what's worse is he was riding in the back all by just minding his business, both him and Liz.
Yeah.
Like, just trying to log laps early on here. Oh yeah, you can hear it in the engine. That thing is rough.
Well, lucky break for Brandon Butler the second after Chaos strikes right after he pits. So, of course, this is usually the reason we don't throw cautions here. It takes quite a long time. Farrell in 5th. Jacob Shangle in 6th. He is a previous winner of this race back in 2013. It's kind of what's interesting about Sonoma. It's a scattered history here. We do have 11 races of previous history, 11 unique entries. 10 different winners in 11 races, which is pretty neat. Tyler Shangle, the only repeat winner. He won it in 2018 and 2021. He still has the title of the winningest driver in Sigma Cup history. But Jacob Shangle, just one win behind him at this point. One more win for the 60, and he will be tied for Tyler, his brother. The brothers duking it out for the overall winningest driver in Sigma Cup history. And this year...
And looking at our list, not to interrupt you there, sorry.
No, go ahead, hop in.
The chances are pretty high we are going to get a new winner. Looking at our list of winners, only 3 of them are still active drivers at this point right now.
Totally, yeah. No, it's a good chance here tonight, especially.
Even last year's winner, Dalton Scott, isn't in the field. So there's a very high likelihood we see a new winner here, unless either Jacob or Tyler Shangle or
Brian DeBlank.
Brian DeBlank, sorry. Drew a blank on the name. I can feel the booze on that one. But yes, unless one of those 3 can find their way to victory lane tonight, we're going to find ourselves with a new winner here.
Well, Taden Berggren from pole position, as we already highlighted, no pole winner from this race. In all the 11 races, 0 of them have converted from pole position.
Well, and this is what, pole position number 4 or 5 for him?
Oh, I want to say it's 7. I think I haven't gotten scored up completely on scoring quite yet, and he's had a couple extra.
Big slide by our leader on the roll through the corner there.
Hopefully we don't have too many more cautions here tonight. Should be pretty solid to get rolling and get going. that was a pretty nasty pileup to facilitate the one early caution here tonight. Finley's going to lose the lead as Tayton takes advantage of that outside line on the start there. Tasha slips her way up to third. Good run moving up a spot there for the 90 machine.
Well, I think if the short shoot up the hill was just another foot, maybe another like quarter mile, a little bit longer, she might have gotten up to second or alongside Finley there.
And we're going to try to watch the tail end of the field just as much as we're watching the back end of the field. Looks like Chad Hertenstein's going to keep it rolling here tonight with all that damage. Retirements already early on. We had the 45 of Tyler Aspinall, the 71 of Rich Roy, the 23 of Tyler Landa, and the 22 of Trevor Walker retired. So that leaves us with 39 cars left running here tonight. Liz Shangle still soldiering on with the National Guard. Greg Biffle tribute number 50. Al Bunch making a...
Looks like we got a... I was just going to say, looks like we got a couple pit road takers here.
They are definitely playing the unique strategy game here tonight. Brandon Butler, the second with the fastest lap. After making his early pit stop, he's starting to climb back through the field here. He's up to 26th after a pit stop. So fresh tires maybe making a little bit of a difference for him. Luis Trost giving a rundown on Monty there. It looks like the 28 of Jimmy Logano misses the turn. And hopefully everyone gets around him without too much trouble here. Let's go back, rewind just a little bit and see how he missed this turn.
Oh, it looks like he just did the same thing as...
It's a tricky...
yeah, it's a tricky spot. At least he didn't collect a bunch of people.
He was running 18th. It looks like he's going to drop back to at least 30th after that little spin. A lot of movers throughout the field here. A lot of give and take. And we're only...
Looks like Lewis might have experienced a little bit of a fallback there, too.
Yeah, he lost some ground to Tom Cording there. Unless Tom Cording's really laying it on and gaining spots, I think Tom's just picking them up. They started about 10th and 11th, and he's already moved up to 8th here. So good run from the 30 early. Chaz Chadwick sliding. It's so much fun watching these cars slip and slide around the S-turns here.
Yeah, they look like they just want to come around on everybody, every corner.
One of the craziest storylines this year has been the grow-up or the blow-up for Tayden Berggren. He has shown some very, very fascinating numbers as he's a couple-year veteran, not a long-time veteran, but he's been in it since 2022, maybe 2023 if I collect my memories right. I think 2023 was his first rookie season here in the Cup Series, and had been winless 2024, 2025. Finally, it took until this year for everything to click. He is his own owner-driver. He took a flyer and invited a new driver to come race with him this year. His other car, actually, the 42 machine, had race wins with Bella Fawn a couple years in a row, and that kind of fell apart. They let Bella Fawn go and decided to take a chance on a veteran, or a rookie, my bad, a rookie from the ARCA series. He's been in the Truck Series, Brandon Butler the second. And it's proven to be probably one of the most pivotal moves for the team, as both Tayden and Brandon Butler have been laying it out there, leading laps, getting race wins, and pretty much a stranglehold at the top of the point standings this early in the season. So Brandon Butler, though, his MO, he has a bad qualifying round every week, but he charges through the field. Vice versa, Taden Berggren qualifies very well, but has struggles maintaining the lead, keeping it for wins. So it's kind of like, definitely feels like Jekyll and Hyde, doesn't it, Tim?
Yeah, just a little bit, I'd say.
It's crazy that, you know, you've got these teammates that are both equally, you know, successful, but they just they struggle in their own ways, and it's definitely a pretty cool storyline so far. And just like
well,
that.
Yeah, how often do you really see somebody take off on all these pole positions and not manage to find victory lane more than what he has?
Yeah, no, with only 2 wins this year, he should have had probably 5. He's led the most laps at 7 different tracks this year. Only converted 2 of them.
He's not leading the points either, is he?
Not yet.
Like you would think somebody with 7 poles and at least 2 wins would be having a season where, not having 5 wins, they'd still be leading the points. But that's the thing with Taden, is he's been having that mix of the season, starting up front and then just getting caught up in things that aren't really his fault, per se.
Well, and like, we're rolling in here tonight, and the trend has been, for so many of the tracks, no winners from pole position. And so with Taden Berggren having all these pole positions and stuff, it's like the stat looms over, you know, like a dark cloud in his pit stall every week, because it's like, is he going to be another, you know, just another statistic, or will he break through and break the mold? And so far, he's trying to break the mold each and every week. And here, early in this one, 12 laps so far, he's doing the best he can. But it's going to be a lot of strategizing, a lot of survival here tonight. He's going to have to make it all the way to lap 75 with this this momentum that he's carrying. A little bit of damage there on Al Bunch's car.
I'm wondering, I think I saw his car slip through in all that chaos on lap 2.
That seems right. Yeah, it looks mild, so it's not like greatly affecting his speed, but he did come down pit road. That might have been why he made his pit stop on this last restart, was come down and get some work done on the car after damage was dealt during that last caution. Looks like we're settling into a kind of a calm green flag run here for now. Well, there's a battle brewing there. 1 of you and What Army and 30 of Tom Cording. So yeah, yet again, that trend's starting to ring true with Brandon Butler. He's been the hard charger week in and week out. He's actually matched Taden Berggren for pole positions with hard charger bonuses. We give out a bonus points, we give out some bonus points for the driver that charges the hardest through the field. And so week in, week out right now, Brandon Butler has been the hard charger for nearly half of the races. just like Taden Bergeron has nearly been the pole setter for half the races as well. And Brandon Butler, fastest lap here tonight with a 57.87. And I saw someone pop up on to pit road, our race winner from 2023. It looked like Brian DeBlank. No, who was that popped up? It had a red and white car on pit road there. Thought it. It's Liz.
Yep. Oh. Looks like more damage on the 50 of Liz, though.
Yeah, let's go back one lap here and see. It must have been maybe another pile up. Oh, whoa. She gets into it with the 15. Who's losing it? She goes for a ride. Without, the AI.
I hate to say it, but I don't think that even warrants a caution. They're both in, like, the area where they'd be out of the way.
Man, the 15 got the worst of that. Damn. I don't know what the 15 was doing. He was just kind of out there lollygagging, gets in the dirt. And Liz, she's in the running line at that point. Nothing that she really did wrong. And Tristan Reams just pegs it into the tire wall there. So no caution. Kind of like F1 style, maybe a, be cautious in that area, but no full course caution.
Well, yeah, because, like, they both ended up behind the tire barrier, basically.
This is one of my favorite Sonoma renditions in NR2003. It's the one that stuck. I've tried to do the revival, the newest one, the most current one, and it just doesn't have the same feel as this one does. And it's crazy how there's so many variations of the same track in the NR2003 community, and so many of them, just have just slight difference, This one I think is more of a throwback to like 1998. And like me and Tim were talking, we're not quite sure if they've ever raced under the lights here in real life. It maybe sport cars and stuff like that, but could have just been someone kind of putting a mock-up together here in the game. I guess we could always look it up too and see if there's ever a night race at Sears Point.
I will look that up.
Taden Bergeron's got the lead, but that lead's shrinking a little bit here as Finley Herwig starts to close the gap. Here they come rolling through the S's now. Tasha Wright in third. See Finley kind of slip sliding around. These Sigma Cup cars definitely a handful to drive here at Sonoma. We'll also do a quick gander at what the mileage count is here tonight. It says about 50 laps, so it should be more than likely a one-stopper here tonight. 50 laps out of 75. That window could open up just about anywhere, honestly. Some of these drivers may decide to take an early pit stop. Some might try to hold it as long as they can because the race is only 75 laps long.
So, from my research here real quick, no, they have never done that. Even when they've done like 24 hours of lemons races here, they split them up into 2 day time.
Huh. Okay, so yeah, no, it's definitely a fictional kind of a fantasy rendition that there's no way that they've actually run here at night. There's no lighting in the real track from what I've seen when you're watching a cup race there anyways, so.
It sounds like they have some like temporary lighting for club racing, but it's not really used that much.
And the season so far kind of defined by parity. I think we're getting to the point now where the parity's taken kind of a backseat. We're starting to see our established drivers that are here to fight for the championship here in 2026. Tate Bergeron especially is kind of the number one. If we had to do power rankings right now on the spot, number one of the top 10 would definitely be Tate Bergeron. Probably number two would be his teammate, Brandon Butler the second. How fitting, being second in the power rankings. But then it kind of, the rest is up for debate. You can look at all the different race winners, but so many of them all with one win apiece. Some of your power ranking drivers may not be race winners. You could say maybe someone like Tasha Wright, who's just been consistent and keeping it clean. She's going to get a win eventually, but could potentially be a top 10 power ranked driver. Cooper Dwight, although a race winner this year, he's been streaky and has had troubles putting it all together. So definitely hard to say where he sits in the power rankings, but a good run here tonight at a road course is kind of to be expected, since he's usually a road course ringer anyways. Then you have Jacob Schenkel, who's been solid this year with a little bit of bad luck mixed in there. Some bad finishes, deeper than 40th, getting wound up in wrecks, not of his doing. Chaz Chadwick, just kind of the silent assassin sitting in the background. Still winless. He's only got one career win in the Cup Series to his name. And to me, that's just wild, isn't it, Tim? Because he's one of those guys that you would think would be out there winning every week.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, look at, I believe they're teammates. You and What Army?
Yep.
Oh, hate to interrupt us, but Tasha just ducked into the pits there. I missed what you said about, because I was researching the night race thing. What did you say our pit window was here?
So 50 laps. And this is really early, but she could try to be breaking it down into a two-stopper. Interesting. And you get some fresh tires on, you go faster.
Yeah.
This
is a very interesting move by Tasha. She could be. I'm not on the box. I don't know. I think they could be trying to hope for a caution, because if she can get a caution, she can kind of save and try to get to the end.
The one thing that this does do, if the other leaders decide to stay out 20 laps longer, she'll be out there on fresher tires for those 20 laps, probably running nearly a second a lap faster. So this starts to, there we go. Finley's gonna, you kind of push everyone else's hand. You make them, be reactive when you're the first one to make the pit stop. So Tasha might just have opened a Pandora's box here on pit stops. Finley goes down, and Cooper Dwight, Jacob Schenkel, a couple other drivers making their pit stop. Chaz Chadwick. Yeah, to me, the crazy thing about Chaz Chadwick, multi-race winner in the Truck Series, a truck champion to boot, but it did not transition once he moved to Cup. It's just been a bit more of a struggle for that 18. And then, yeah, of course, his teammate Ewan What Army has been lights out, just fast, dominant, strong. And he himself is a Bridge to Cup champion, so might just, go to show you that the trucks don't transition over to stock car success very well.
Well, and that might be the case because they might just not translate. Like, they're so different compared to each other. So, like, I'm a champion down there, and I've won races up here. It's just such a learning curve to switch between the two.
Well, it looks like Tasha, with her one stop sooner pit stop, got right ahead of Finley Herwig, which once things cycle out here, she would be in second place. Liz is back out there. Even though it's been pretty much put through the grinder here today, that 50 looks rough. But points are a big, big premium here tonight. And with other cars getting knocked out, she's going to try to pick up as many points as she can possibly get here tonight. Doesn't seem to be any slower than it was before. It's actually tracking just fine, as she's ahead of Cooper Dwight there, who's just got through his pit stop for fresh tires. During this long green flag stint here, it looks like Monty Shangle has cycled his way up to 8th, but he's short of a pit stop where the others have pitted behind him here. He's going to stay out. So this is where it gets interesting, because you got some folks that are trying to stay true to that 50-lap window. And a lot of them decided to come early and kind of split things down the middle. Maybe make it a 2-stopper. Taden Bergeron, he didn't want to pit. He wants to stay out there, get all the laps led that he can, and try to add another led most laps bonus to his name this year. And this is, this is what's nice about road course racing. Tim, it would be, a lot of people usually get bored with F1 or all the other road course circuit racing, but it's a little deeper than just the action on track. Sometimes it's the strategy from the pits, the pit booth and the crew chief. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say so, because road course racing really comes down to a lot of strategy, Paul. Like you were saying earlier, it's interesting to see some people try to keep going here when we just witnessed just about probably half the field come down and pit and cycle through.
And so, yeah, definitely it makes it interesting here. We're going to see which strategy, is the winning strategy, of course. It's giving us a good gauge of how fast this 43 car is, even though he's not pitting. He hasn't fallen off very much at all. Actually, he picked it up there on that last lap, a 1:15.9. He's only a second off of his fast lap, a 1:14.9. Now, for reference, let's look at maybe Tasha's car and see what her lap time was last time around. She was at a 1:16.444, so she's stuck behind some slower traffic here. Finley was a 1:16.0, and that's on fresh tires. So Taden Bergeron must be finding the secret to kind of preserving those tires and not letting the fall off hit as hard as some of the other drivers it is. But for Tasha, the tough part here is stuck behind the slower car there of Jimmy Logano. If she could get by him, get clear track, she would be setting some faster laps here, I feel like.
Well, and that's a bit of the problem. She has to get moving, or Finley or the other people who are on just slightly fresher tires are gonna pounce on her.
Oh, we had might have been the 94. It's usually the 94. I think Eli left pit road. Yeah, he left pit road there. And I looked on the tracker of telemetry. It showed that the 15 had an oil leak. So that's why when Liz came around, the 15 was in the dirt. It was an oil leak for the 15 machine that put him in a position to get wrecked there by Liz. Tasha better be careful here. Finley's knocking on the door of taking over that position. another stat that we had seen looking data up here for the race tonight. Average DNF count here at Sonoma is an average of 8 drivers basically not finishing the race. What's wild about that is the races here are often pretty crazy, and we see a lot of wrecks and a lot of, you know, carnage and craziness like we did here tonight already. But even then, a lot of the drivers are not retired with the damage that they sustained. We're actually tracking just about on average at the moment with 5 cars retired out of the race. And there could be, you know, handful more falling off. No! Tasha overdrives it there, spins it out. And the AI do some weird things sometimes. She kind of drove it into the wall there, but I don't think it's
and that's exactly how Al probably got his as well, because looks exactly the same.
Now the pressure was a little too hot there from Finley Herwig as he was riding right on her back bumper, trying to make that move, and he forced Tasha into a mistake there. And that might just be the aura from Finley Herwig here tonight. He's kind of got it set on kill. So Jimmy Logano right ahead of him here. It might be best to just let Finley by, because Finley has got the quicker car. He was up there fighting for the lead before the first round of pit stops, and look at that. He's closing that gap pretty quickly there to the 28. We'll see if the 28 makes that same mistake again. We've seen him make the mistake here already tonight. Well, he overdrove it, but he kept it in there and stuck it. Actually drove away from Finley a little bit. While this battle's going on, let's jump back up to the front and see what's going on there. Wow, Taden's only fallen off 1.3 seconds. He might be able to pit and still have the lead, as he currently has, let's see, over, well, what would have been Tasha, so now we're looking at the 68 of Finley Herwig, 38 seconds back. I think you lose at least a maybe a full 40 seconds on pit road here, so it'll be close. Finley might be able to get around him after the early pit stop that he was able to turn in. He's definitely turning quicker laps right now than Taden. But for Taden, it's all about where you want to make this pit stop, because it's only going to be one pit stop that you need to make it to the finish. Finley, on the other hand, came in a little bit earlier than I would have expected. And so he might be looking at a 2-stopper, maybe a quick gas and go on a short run to the end, or maybe a caution if he's hoping for one. But as it looks like right now, Taden Bergen's really setting the pace for what could be the winning strategy to make it on a 1-stopper here today. I think what's mostly impressive is this, you know, long run strategy has moved a couple drivers higher up in the running order than they've been all night. Lynn Farrell running in second. Tom Cording, man, already a podium run here as we're closing in on halfway. Ewan Woodarmy with a 4th. Luis Rodriguez with a 5th. And then you have Karashangle, James Fireball Robert, pretty much the entirety of KBM in the top 10. It was Tasha in 11th up until she spun there. So they're just short Tasha at the moment. And then Monty Shangle with a good top 10 run after this long, extensive green flag run without a pit stop here. Lewis Trost in 9th. And Kellen Relic with the top 10. As crazy as it sounds, Kellen Relic winless here at Sonoma, although he's been in pretty much every race that we've hosted here since 2010. Race winner last week from Talladega at the Dusty Shangle Memorial 534, Carson Bowers. Him and his teammate kind of bookended the super speedway races. Team owner Cooper Dwight won the Daytona 500, and Carson Bowers ended up winning the Dusty Memorial 534 at Talladega. So the team has got it figured out for those super speedway races. Kind of crazy when you have a team with two different drivers get the job done at two very unique super speedway tracks like that. Might be worthy of buying a lotto ticket, because if you win at Daytona or Talladega, that's, you know, a lucky break. Finley still has not been able to get by Jimmy Logano here.
Well, and I wonder if it might work out for the people that are, oh, got Tom coming down.
Tom and You and What Are Me making their pit stop right short of halfway. I'm still kind of perplexed to some of these strategy calls. This one might not be too bad. You're going to be, you know, running a lot longer, 43 laps. You'll be kind of running out of steam at the end of this run. Oh, Tayden came down pit road too. We missed that. Tayden went down pit road, and he still comes out right ahead of his teammate there. Actually ahead of Finley Herwig. So Tayden made the grand pit stop there and still maintained the advantage over those that came earlier. Monty's going to stay out here, it looks like. Will he stay out any longer, though, is the question. Not looking like anyone's going to make it to halfway here. Yep, Monty's coming in on lap 33. That'll be a 42-lap push on this last stint here. He's going to be just short of leading the lap. He's going to come down to his pit stall right before the start-finish line. Lynn Farrell actually credited with leading a lap there. But it's back to Tayden Berggren as the race leader. Didn't take long at all. And it seems like another taker down pit road, the 42. Those are leaving pit road or kind of sitting ducks leaving pit road. Wow. Maybe Brandon Butler had a bit of a mechanical failure there. He's spending some extra time on pit road, so that's not ideal. Get some damage or something looked at. But his teammate leading the way has a pretty steady lead over Finley Herwig in second. Finley's lap times look atrocious at the moment. A 117.4. Tayden Berggren on a warm-up lap here, a 118.3. But back to his regular lap times at a 115.1. There you go, Finley with a 115.2, so it's just an off lap for Finley. So it's definitely looking like there might need to be another caution to help some of these drivers get back into the picture. I don't feel like this is any big surprise seeing Finley Herwig run strong at a road course. His background, his history, all kind of tied to road course racing, coming from UK, his home track, Brands Hatch in Britain there. And it's coming up here in a couple weeks. It's going to be exciting with all of the Sigma Racing ladder and the Sigma Cup Series hosting races at Brands Hatch, and even its shorter track configuration, the Indy Brands Hatch, which will be exciting. Definitely getting to see ARCA, Bridge to Cup, trucks, and even the Cup Series all racing there the same week in correlation with the NASCAR Euro Series. They have, or I guess it'd be Euro NASCAR, and their event at Brands Hatch for the American Speed Fest. Well, we took our own spin on that and did our British Speed Fest with the Sigma cars. So and I feel like our road course package has been improved upon over the years. It's definitely kind of like here tonight at Sonoma. We've seen some passing. We've seen a lot of sliding, and the action is there, the aggression is there, and just making sure it's fine-tuned so it's not a wreck fest is the big key for these drivers. Whoa, a new fastest lap was laid down by Taden Berggren. 53.259. That sounds nearly impossible, because I think Brandon Butler had a 57. So how? Well, it wasn't much faster. Okay, so the ticker's a little bit goofed up. It was definitely not a 53-second lap. It was a 1 minute 14 second .826. But the 826 bested his teammate who had fast lap of an 882. So the two cars, they are hauling the mail around Sonoma here tonight. And we're officially halfway through the race here tonight. 37 laps, 37 and a half in, 37 and a half left to go. Taden Berggren's other race wins this season came at Portland and Moses Lake Motorplex. So he's trying to complete the whole Pacific area with Washington, Oregon, and now California. Be pretty, must be the time zone that he likes here from Nebraska himself. Kind of a little bit closer to home for him, racing here on the West Coast, the western area. But the fact that he's showing this kind of promise on road courses, it shows how scary good he is. When you're good on a road course, you can be good at just about any track you go to. And as long as he avoids any untimely mistakes here tonight, all he's got to do is keep it going here for the second half, and he can close it down. I'm amazed the folks that decided to pit early did not get any more of an advantage as they did. Finley, more of a sitting duck after his pit stop. Kind of a desperation, dart throw, and they did not hit the bullseye at all. And they might have to try and dial in that setup here tonight with any other last-minute pit stops that they might have to throw at it. Got Tom Cording running in third. Ewan What Army in fourth. Whoa, Lynn Farrell had to go high there to avoid making contact with the one. And that washes him out, as that's going to give the 78 of Bradley Ream a run on his outside. So Lynn Farrell in fifth, Bradley Ream in sixth, Cooper Dwight seventh, Brian DeBlank eighth, This is actually kind of neat to see Brian DeBlank having a good run here tonight. We know he's very capable on the road courses. His venture up the Sigma ladder, he had many wins at road courses, and that's kind of his bread and butter. And so getting you know, kind of a drama-free race for the first time in a long time, as Brian DeBlank's almost always the target of all the chaos and carnage around him. Luis Rodriguez in 9th, John Hagen in 10th, Kara Shangle in 11th, and Tasha bouncing back to 12th, it looks like. Preston Kundo and Sebastian Torres with Chaz Chadwick, Fireball Robert, Tyler Shangle, and Craig the Void. Louis Trost running in 19th. Monty Shangle in 20th. And Jacob Shangle went from 18th to 21st on one lap there. I mean, he's making a pit stop, so something ain't right with that 60. We'll watch the lap here and see what happens to the 60 machine through the transition of one lap. He must have went for a spin. How much you want to bet he spins down the hill here, Tim?
I don't know. Maybe.
No, we didn't. Okay, so there's still something that happens here to shuffle him all the way back to 21st. Oh, a spinner entering the S's. That's different.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't expecting it there.
Nope, makes another pit stop, and he's back out and rolling right there alongside Al Bunch. Braden Varga makes a pit stop. Yeah, and to me, this success from Taden Berggren is kind of hard to grasp. It's unexplainable, the struggles that we'd seen from him, you know, but obviously there was a lot going on in the background as they were building this team up. They wanted to try and become a juggernaut team, and I think that's what's happening here is we're seeing the Chevrolet power come through with the absence of Jaguar no longer in the field now. It kind of gives the big four a chance to stretch back out and assert their, you know, dominance as the top manufacturer again. Chevy has often been the pinnacle of motorsports here in the U.S. And with the Sigma Cup Series, it seems like they're doing their homework again and getting back to prime, top-notch competition. Whoa, yeah, I don't know if I like this pit stop. You know, pit road, the way that transition is a little bit unnerving. Wow, Finley making another stop here. So not even able to do it on a true two-stopper. He might be in three-stop territory here. Just not getting the same out of the car as your race leader Taden Berggren is. Now he's going to come right back out with Jimmy Logano there. Seems like the cycling kind of falls back into the same progress that we saw earlier. Those that are staying out and the other ones pitting. Wow, What Army making some bad laps there in the number one. He's got his hands full with lap traffic of all things. Well, just like that, Tom Cording up to second here. Hayden Bergeron has a large 21-second lead over Tom Cording.
I mean, sounds to me like my brother took my comment about him and Lewis personally.
He didn't want to be outstaged by his teammate here today, and he's got it figured out here at Sonoma. His lap time was actually quicker than Hayden Bergeron. A 1:15.2, and compare that up to Tayden, who turned a 1:15.7, 1:15.8. So I'm wondering if the 30's had his pit stop already, and the 43 is out there floundering on old tires. Crazy as that sounds, I mean, he's only been out there for about 10 laps from his pit stop, so it shouldn't be wore out that bad. But dealing with the lap traffic definitely slowing him up a little bit.
I was just going to say, you wouldn't think so, but lap traffic can do numbers on your tires if you're pushing too hard.
It looks like Tayden making some mistakes around the S's too. He's got a 22-second lead, so it's definitely a large cushion that he's built up here. Dang, Brandon Butler knocked down a fast lap and took it back away from his team owner, Hayden Bergeron. How about that? A 1:14.826 is Tayden's fast lap. The 42, a 1:14.823. So an 8.23 beats an 8.26 by narrow, slim margins there. And we saw him spending a lot of time on pit road. The 42, it looks like they got it right, but he is unfortunately down 3 laps now. So he's going to need a miracle to get back even in contention here tonight. He can definitely play spoiler a little bit with his teammate and his team owner, working around the same track position here as him with 30 laps to go. Wow, yeah, 1:15.7, 1:15.8 for Hayden Bergeron. Ooh, ouch. Tom dropped to a 1:16.5 dealing with lap traffic as well. He's actually under attack here by Ewan Wood Army for position there. That's battle for second and third. And 29 laps left to go. We're getting it closed down here at the end of the night. Oh, Bradley Ream with a fast lap in the race now. It was an 8:23 by Brandon Butler the second. Find the 78 machine. We'll find the new fast lap. He turned an 8:11, a 1:14.811. So there's still some speed out there to be found on the racetrack. It seems like fast lap keeps changing hands here throughout the night. Kind of crazy to see with 29 laps to go a fast lap get knocked down. Usually it's early in the race. Well, and this is what the rest of the field was probably hoping was not going to happen. Once Tayden started putting everything together, all those great runs that he had that were not converted over to race wins, it was just a matter of time before he figured it out and started doing both. You know, having great races and converting them to a win at the end of the night. So the other drivers out there, the last time something like this happened, definitely reminds you of an early start season, such as an Al Bunch. Al Bunch, there's been the year that he went on to win 15 races to win the championship in 2024, he probably should have had about 20 race wins. There was at least 5 races or more that he had in the book, in the bag, and unfortunately got stuck with lap traffic, got in a wreck, had a blown engine, had a flat tire, something went wrong, but he still was able to convert to a 15-win season that year. Tayden Berggren, as we're already on race number 16 this year, has been kind of in the same boat as 2024 Al Bunch. Has the shot at winning the races almost every week, but just struggled to convert to all those race wins that he should have had. Yeah, the rest of the field's going to be worried if this 43 keeps it up. And like Tim was saying, he's been short of the points lead this year. Hasn't been there leading the points. His teammate, actually, Brandon Butler II, led briefly there. And James Fireball Robert, the most recent points leader. But with another race win, potentially, the 43 should be trending very much into a points lead position, especially fresh off of his race win at Moses Lake Motorplex 2 weeks ago. Trending in the right direction for sure. New fast lap, Finley Herwig. So it was an 8:11 by Bradley Ream. And the new fastest lap is an 8:02. Finley Herwig with a 1:14.802. And so Finley, I think, is good to go to the finish. He had made 2 pit stops, but if he's having fuel troubles, he might have a 3rd pit stop on the horizon. But if not, and your race leader has to pit again, Finley Herwig might be able to try and eke it out here today. But he's going to definitely have to make up the big difference right now, as lap times are a little bit quicker than the race leader. We saw basically about a 30-second gap was the pit stop window when the 43 made a pit stop. Finley Herwig is back 43.4 seconds at the moment, so it would not be enough when the 43 does decide to pit there. Well, with 25 laps left to go, Tim, what's kind of on your radar here for the closing segment of the race here?
Well, I think everybody's done all the pit stops that they're going to do, unless they pulled some crazy shenanigans that are going to cause them to be short. What's the gap here between Tayden and... Is it... Ooh, yeah, I think he's got this in the bag unless something crazy happens here.
my only perception on all this is that the AI almost never seem to go the distance on a road course. I don't know why. I've had troubles getting it to actually match up to the numbers that they show in the NR2003 garage. I feel like Tayden is done pitting. He shouldn't have to pit again, but the AI do some weird things, and who knows what could happen here. Even with a pit stop, Tayden Bergeron's got a full pit stop advantage from 5th on back, so he would only fall back to 5th with the pit stop right now if everyone else decided to stay out. And that's saying something right there. That 43 has been that stout, that fast up front, and I think everyone else, it's going to come down to maybe getting a late race caution here to stack things back up. And still no extra retirements. We have 5 retirements here today. 38 cars still out there running. 26 of which are still on the lead lap. Only really seen a couple big mistakes here today. That one downhill turn and the entry of the S's has been kind of the problem zone. But other than that, everyone else has pretty much been smooth sailing here today without too many troubles. And as this race is closing in quicker and quicker to the finish here today, really the only driver that could potentially be in the mix for a repeat win here at a track that he's won before, Brian DeBlank running in 14th. A little bit further off the pace than I thought there. Even I thought he was up in the top 10, but he's actually top 15 here. Weird things could still happen, and he's just trying to kind of survive at the moment and put himself in a position for potentially a late race restart that could get him in the picture. Lynn Farrell with a great top 5 run going so far. Ewan Wood-Army in 3rd, and Tom Courting 2nd place. One of the new things that we've been working with is expanding the field sizes each week. Tayden making a pit stop here with 21 laps to go, so there is a 2-stopper. And the only thing I can think of is the disadvantage of old tires on a long run. They might be afraid of getting a flat here at Sears Point at Sonoma. And so that might be the reason we're seeing so many sporadic kind of extra pit stops here today is they're afraid of those tires actually going, giving up on them and having them, stranded out there on the racetrack somewhere. Looks like Lynn Farrell stays out. Lynn Farrell inherits the lead here with 21 laps to go. But definitely his lap times are trending slow. He's down to a 117.0. Kara Shangle there in second with a 116.3. Look at that. Taden Bergeron comes out right there, third in line, even with the drivers that have not yet pitted. But the big factor here is Finley Herwig back in a position to try and catch up to your race leader. He's got some ground. Taden's on his warm-up lap here, so now is the time for Finley to really dial it in and try to catch up while the getting's good. And this is the point in time where if you're a driver in a position like Taden Bergeron, you start overthinking. You start overanalyzing everything. Wouldn't you say, Tim?
Yeah, you really do, especially if you're in the top 5 to 10 cars. Like, you really want to start talking to your crew chief and your spotter to try to see if there's a chance you can maybe gain a few more spots, but you don't want to push that hard in these laps and risk losing it all, everything you've built over the course of the day.
Well, and it's got to be extra for Taden, who's squandered away race wins week in and week out like this. And it's like at this point, it's kind of like a lingering ghost in the background, a monkey on your shoulder that's dragging you down. It's like, where am I going to make my mistake today? And that's usually when a mistake is made because you're overthinking it and you're worried about making that mistake. So hopefully that's not the case here today. But with your KBM team, have you seen that with any of your drivers before where, they let the emotions get the best of their ability to race out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, I've noticed that with honestly kind of all of our drivers in some aspects. Some want to push too early and it shows later in the race, and some it's just a case of the pace overall is really good. They just have to learn how to pace themselves out through the race better.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure, definitely. With them, they've been kind of the stars of the show this year. Consistency and stout, but only one race win for KBM so far has been achieved. But the year is still young. It's very early. And the whole team, they're out there trying to bring Cadillac to the top. Just like Taden Bergeron here with Chevy trying to bring Chevrolet to the top. Kind of feel like there's a little bit of a, intermingling fight there between the GM, General Motor, Chevrolet, and Cadillac on track this year. It's kind of neat.
It's especially interesting to see how everybody is managing to balance certain things out, because obviously there is a little bit of overlap between some situations, like with us and Chevy. Like, we had a little bit to work off of at the start, but there's only so much you can use.
My mic was muted the whole time, and I was giving some calls there. But anyways, Taden Bergeron still has the lead, but not by much. It's starting to shrink a little bit. Finley Herwig, 7.49 seconds. That's the closest it's been in a long time. Tom Cording in third. Brian DeBlank making his resurgence here. We're not sure who all's going to have to pit again before the end of this, but it's definitely looking like it could start getting a little tighter up front here with 16 laps to go.
Yeah, you can almost see it in Taten's driving that it's hit him in the head that, oh boy, I gotta get to the end of this. I gotta get to the end of this.
Looks like Tasha makes a pit stop. Jacob makes a pit stop and collides with Taden Bergeron. Whoa. And now Taden's slowly rolling back into the race line here. And there goes Finley Herwig for the lead. What a weird...
We'll see if he can gather it back up to come back and fight it, though. It's like I said, you could tell he was driving nervous. I gotta get it to the end. And it bit him.
And that's, yeah, it's just, it's in his head, living rent-free at this point. Can I win the race, or am I going to find a way to squander it? And yet again, we don't know that yet. It's still 15 laps of racing. He's going to try to fight back here. And we know he's got the speed. He's got the aggression. All he's got to do is get back by the 68 here of Finley Herwig. Finley, a race winner this year as well. He won at 8 Bull Super Speedway for the 8-ball annual. And Taden Bergeron, obviously a 2-race winner. He's going to stay out. Okay, good. I was thinking he was going to maybe make a pit stop there to try. Oh, Finley's pitting. No way. So Finley had the lead with 15 laps to go, makes his last pit stop here tonight. We kind of figured that the AI are doing their own unique strategies here, and he's going to give up 30 seconds to fall back here. Man, I would not want to be the man on the pit box making the calls, because these are some high-stakes calls being made, and I would have stayed out. I would have run it until it was dry.
With this many laps left, I would have been running that thing until it was dry.
He comes back out in 8th, so not too far back. But we've already seen the one big mistake made here tonight with Taden Bergeron, and it wasn't his fault. He was just collected up with drivers coming off pit road. I was keeping my eye on that because it looked like it was going to be a problem here at one point or another. The drivers exiting pit road had such a discrepancy in the gap, closing gap there. Taden turned to 1:15.028, so his lap time's right back where they were. And how confident are they in stretching it to the finish here? Got Tom Cording in 2nd, Lynn Farrell in 3rd. Fireball Robert running in 4th. He wants to try and maintain his points lead up at the top of the leaderboard with another good run here tonight. How about Louis Trost with the top 5? Luis Rodriguez 6th, Monty Shangle running 7th. And Finley back to 8th, but with fresh tires and no worries, he's going to be able to push this thing all the way to the finish without any more extra stops. Not sure we can say that for everyone ahead of him, though. Interesting for Taden with the damage We'll see if it starts feeling off for him. Oh, there's some more dirt and dust. 87 of Kellen Relic. Oh, wow, that's a gnarly hit.
That's good. That's a big one.
Oh, he gets... Oh, okay, this...
Cleaned out by Tasha.
Yet again, the pit exit has been the worst part of the track here tonight. And it's just wrong place, wrong time, and bam, hard hit. More than likely, the 87 will be retired, and that'll bring us up to 6 retirements here today. Still under the average DNFs here. Yeah, for Tayden, you got to give him some kudos here tonight for the grit and determination. Even after getting spun into the tire barrier, he didn't pull it down pit road at all. He decided he's going to just keep it out there. Kind of like we figured the 68 should have done, stayed out and run it till it was dry. Tayden Berggren, it doesn't matter if there's damage on the rear end, he's going to try to bring it home right to the very end. Another new fast lap drops here. Cooper Dwight with the fast lap. Wow, he turned a 1:14.797. So gets out of the 1:14.8s and into the 1:14.7s here tonight. Now we're down to just 10 laps left to go. Tayden Berggren, your race leader, he has a 12-second advantage over Tom Cording. He's maximized here tonight by minimizing mistakes made. Even though he did get knocked into the tire barrier, he was able to keep it rolling. And lost the lead temporarily, but got it back just as quickly as he lost it. Finley, though, he just gained 3 seconds on the last lap, a 33.96 deficit. That's going to take pretty much 3 seconds a lap, though, to catch up to the 43 without any pit stops here. And I doubt he's actually running 3 seconds faster every lap. Whoa, bit of a slide there from Tayden Berggren. You got to start to wonder if that car is not handling near as well as it once was. Yeah, Finley not gaining much ground now. He's still 33.16 seconds back. And for Tayden, it's very unlikely that he'll be making any more pit stops here tonight. He should be set to go all the way to the finish. Short of a caution, stacking things back up here tonight, or a mistake, it's all going to be up to the 43 to keep it clean here for the final 8 laps. He might be lobbying some payback here on the 60 ahead of him, who took him for that spin to put him into the tire barrier. And look at that, good run by the 43. He's going to get there alongside the lap down car, lap traffic of Jacob Shangle in the 60. Doesn't get the job done passing him there, put him a lap down, but right there in his back bumper. No, and Tayden makes a mistake racing right behind. We'd seen him minimize those mistakes here today, but he made one. And Tom Cording be the shark lurking in the background there. Yeah, Tim, it's gotta be in his head that, you know, just having the speed, the ability to have a race-winning car and to make mistakes like that is just not normal. At least he is going to keep the lead for now, but that gap has shrunk significantly as Tom Cording can see him down the same straightaway. Turned a 129.9. The gap went from 11 seconds down to 3.7. And surely he would not make the same mistake two laps in a row. It's a tough turn apparently here tonight. It's been reaching up and grabbing the drivers left and right. This time by, it's going to be 5 laps left to go here at Sonoma. Tayden Bergeron has locked down, led most laps here today. By far, he should be leaps and bounds. 62 laps led of the 75 lap distance. 2 laps led by Lynn Farrell, 5 laps led by Finley Herwig. And that's pretty much been the majority of your lap leaders here tonight. Gap has shrunk a little bit more now, half a second knocked off. 3.2 seconds back is Tom Cording. He's just going to have to cross his T's, dot his I's, and make sure that the laps are near perfect to try and catch the 43 of Tayden here. Both of them will be having to deal with lap traffic to get to each other. Tayden working on Tyler Shangle at the moment. That would be for 2 laps down, it looks like. Tyler Shangle 1 lap down in 25th. Tayden turns a 116.3. Tom Cording with a 115.6, so he knocks it down another half second, down to 2.5 seconds back. Even Kevin Xavier running faster laps than both your leaders here. He turned a 115.3. He's going to start closing in on Tayden, and he's going to force Tayden to drop back some more track position here, as Tom Cording will have clear track visual on the 43 machine before too long. Four laps to go. Tayden's just got to hold on for 4 laps. Sounds easy enough, but all these factors kind of culminating right at the front of the field here, where you got the 14 running faster, Tom Cording with a cleaner car, very much closing the gap. Oh, Tayden has to go high, and that lets the 14 of Kevin Xavier by. They're going to drag race down the front stretch here. Tayden keeps the advantage, but the blood's in the water at this point. The 14's right there. And that's not ideal for Tayden Berggren, as he wants to try and keep as much between him and the 30 as possible, and that 14 is not going to stay between them for very long. The gap down to 1.89 seconds. Tim, how are you feeling?
Pretty good. I mean, we've got...
It's like he... Okay. Usually that's when they run out of fuel, they do the loop-de-loop of death, but I don't know what that one was all about. Wow. Yeah, so now it's down to 1.4 seconds with 3 laps left to go. Tayden himself is seeking race win number 3 on the season. Tom Cording looking for race win number 1. It's going to come down to Cadillac versus Chevrolet for the race win here today between 2 of the powerhouse teams this year that have been the most dominant. And Tayden Berggren trending towards being the number 1 guy in the field this year, but he's showing yet again why he's so volatile. Has great runs, unfortunately has mistakes, falls out of the lead when it matters the most right at the end of a race. So he's holding on for dear life right now. I think he's running off adrenaline at the moment, but that car is bruised, beaten, and battered all the way to the finish here tonight. And there you have Tom Cording right there, catching up with all of the lead group here. The gap down to 1.17 seconds. If that 14 gets alongside Tayden, it might be game over for Tayden Berggren, as that will basically give the 30 a free ride to the lead at that point. Kevin Xavier will take Tayden Berggren's line away from him and force him into a slower line, while Tom Cording has nothing to worry about. No traffic around him. All he's got to do is follow the back of that 14 through the field here. And this might be one of the most battered looking cars fighting for a win this year that we've seen in a long time. That 43 has got some very significant damage. I don't know how it will pass post-race inspection. Doesn't even look like the tail end of that car is legal by any means. But they don't really, we don't really disqualify anyone for that in Sigma Racing. White flag, one more lap to go here from Sonoma. It has been a thriller so far, and we've got what could potentially be a battle for the win brewing on this last lap here tonight. For Tayden, it's just simply holding on for dear life with the damaged vehicle. For Tom Cording, it's a ray of light that's shining very brightly ahead of him, but can he actually reach it in time before the lap runs away from him? Kevin Xavier's there, but I don't think anything's going to get around this 43. Tom put on a valiant effort here tonight. Closed the gap within 1 second, down to 0.88 on that last lap. It's all going to come down to this last turn. If Tayden gets way wide or makes a mistake, he kind of gets, he gets back on the inside. He falls pretty close to that inside line, and he's going to cruise to victory here tonight at Sonoma. Race win number 3 for Tayden Berggren in dominant fashion here tonight. Led the most laps, survived when everything was out there to get him. And yeah, that was quite the chain of events to get him there. I mean, at one point you thought he was going to lose because he got spun out from the lead, but still came back to win. So spin to win. We got kind of our equivalent of the, like the pass in the grass, spin to win race here tonight from Tayden Berggren. Well, and what's your analysis on the night here tonight, Tim? Right? Yeah, that's another big topic of the night, is from pole position to race win. The first time ever here at Sonoma that has happened. So, yeah, mad kudos to Tayden. We're going to have to get those points scored up soon. I have been slacking on the point scoring side of things, but I'm thinking Tayden's probably going to be a lot closer, if not the race, the points leader after tonight's race. And we'll let them cycle around the track one more time here tonight so we can get all the cars retired down pit road. Finley brought it home 8th after what could have been a race-winning situation that played out for him. He had to make a pit stop. They did not feel like the numbers were getting good enough fuel mileage for the Genesis here tonight. And so him, along with many others, could not make this a 2-stop race. They had to make it a 3-stop race. For Tayden, it was a 2-stopper that got him the win here tonight. Simple as that. Sometimes you just, less times down pit road means you have that much better of a chance to win it, because you're making less, less stops on the race. So 17 races in. Race number 18 next week will be another road course style race. It'll be a street circuit, the New York GP. So kind of expect more of the same next week to what we had here at Sonoma. Not as much side-by-side racing, maybe more strategy and execution over aggression and passing. And there you have it, the damaged 43 shown in the victory screen there.
Okay, that's actually really funny. I've never seen that.
All the other drivers that got a top 10 here tonight, so Well, folks, that's a wrap here tonight from Sonoma. I'd like to extend a great thank you here to Tim calling the action with me here tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Absolutely, yeah. I had a blast tonight calling this one.
We've got some plans in the works. With my announcement the other night, we kind of have the ball rolling on some other things to try and take some stuff off my plate, and maybe Tim here and even Brandon might be able to help do some fun stuff. We're keeping it kind of lock and key at the moment, not trying to give away too many details, but you'll definitely be excited once we have more details to unveil.
Yeah, I'm a little excited for us to get some more of the details ironed out on that one.
So yeah, after tonight we got Bridge to Cup tomorrow night, and that'll round out our week of streaming here on the YouTube channel. And so just, I guess, congratulations yet again to Taden Berggren on dominantly putting the beat down here tonight at Sonoma. He's got the trifecta of wins from Washington to Oregon to California. He's pretty much just followed the Pacific Coast from the top down on his race wins this year. So if we have any more West Coast races, he's going to have that one circled on the calendar for sure. But kudos to everyone else on a great top 10, top 15 runs here tonight. And hopefully we can see another good race next week from the New York GP. But with that, folks, I would like to bid y'all a farewell, great night. And we'll see you in the next stream. Have a good night. Stay safe out there. This is Jakester and Tim signing out.
Later, y'all.